my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we're going to talk about how to level up your main haul to the max level as fast as possible. Before we get started, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video when we live stream, and hit the thumbs up button if any of these tips helped you out. First thing I want to mention, this is 100% just tips on the quickest way. This isn't going to help you long term. So if you're looking for long-term gameplay, then I wouldn't necessarily follow this strategy. This is 100%. We just want to get our main haul to level 10 as fast as possible. So there's going to be some things that you're going to notice that a normal player who's in this for the long run wouldn't do. You always want to be capturing the highest power tile levels you can, but you need to be careful and mindful about this, because the way this game works is, I don't know if you've noticed, because I think a lot of people just kind of go in and they're like, oh, can I capture a power 90 tile, a 130 tile, a 200 tile, but they don't pay attention to the different resources that they give off. So if you take a look at this, it kind of rotates, it goes back and forth between the two. So just for instance, we take a look at the power 60 tiles, you'll notice they are ore and grain, and then the power 90 tiles are wood and stone. So if I was to just go in here and be like, oh, power 90 is my highest, so let me delete everything else and only capture 90s, then you're not going to have any ore or grain production. So you have to balance that out between the two highest levels that you can capture. You can't capture only the highest one, because otherwise you're going to miss out on resources and you're going to be resource poor for a certain one, like ore or grain or whatever it may be. So let's go down here and look for an instance. Right now I'm getting rid of my power 15, which is wood. I got a wood left one, but you'll notice we have grain and ore for power 30. And then the 40 goes to wood and stone, and then it goes to ore and grain, and it kind of rotates back and forth. But my biggest problem right now has been the ore, not necessarily the grain just yet. Now I'm on my way to capture 130 tiles. 130 tiles are for ore and grain. So ore, you'll notice that as your base levels up, the game forces you to kind of, all right, if you want to advance faster, then you need to capture these next power tiles, which would be for ore. And then you're going to notice that you're going to be short on ore, because if your base advances faster than the power tiles you are capturing, that's when you're going to see that big instance where you're going to notice, okay, I'm hurting for one in particular resource, and you're kind of like, what the hell? I have a lot of 30 ores, but they're just really weak. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of capturing to do, and it's honestly, it's a grind. There's no real quick way to do anything in this game. This game takes a lot of work. In our 24-hour challenge, we spent about like 10 hours in our first 24 hours playing this game, just to get to where we were. This account is only 3 days old, and even so, I honestly didn't get to play the other day, so this account missed like a day or two of gameplay. Like, you can reach main haul 10 as a 100% free to play player, I would say within a week. Within 7 days, you should be able to, if you put in the work. You will spend a lot of time in this game. You gotta go around, capture the tiles. It's a constant flipping of capturing the higher tiles, getting rid of your lower tiles, and then getting higher tiles. It's constant back and forth. If you do spend money in this game, then it's definitely going to be even easier. You could probably reach main haul 10 within probably 3 or 4 days if you spend money, depending on how much you spend. Giving your commanders roles is a huge thing that will help you out, and I think a lot of people overlook that. They kind of go into the attribute points and they kind of just start throwing them around and not paying attention. You need to look at the character and be like, all right, what role is he going to possess? Is he going to be my main attacker? Is this going to be my main gatherer? Am I going to use this person for just tips? It's better to unlock more commanders than to focus so much on increasing the reputation, because for this instance, we want to have as many commanders as possible doing many different things. For me, I have my main who's going around capturing the highest power tiles that I can get. I then have a secondary who's going around capturing the second highest I can get. I then have 2 gatherers or tippers depending on what I want to do, and then I also have a third one that I could go around and again capture extra tiles with. The one thing that I want to point out is when you do your tips, pay attention because you do get respect right here for certain commanders. You don't want to use your respect items to try and unlock those commanders because it's kind of like a waste, because you're going to unlock them naturally through the tips by just doing this and getting respect for them. Another thing, like when it comes to building, I feel like this is obvious. I've mentioned this in a lot of my other videos. You're going to want to use your gems to speed up your buildings. You're not going to use your gems in the gotcha chest because, again, we're just trying to reach main hall 10 as fast as possible. Another important thing to also notice is the fellowship hall is going to be a building that you're going to want to max out as soon as possible because it will reduce the time for your buildings. Again, there's certain buildings that you want to avoid for this instance and some that you need to build in order to get to main hall 10. Now you can honestly just go through here, click main hall, and just do the upgrade conditions and just be like, all right, I need to get this to 14. I'm just going to do that and kind of just go through and do the minimum that you need. But you're going to need to do your storage as well to a certain point, because if you notice at the main hall, you'll see that you're going to require a lot of resources to upgrade this. And if your storage, again, is not at a high enough capacity, you won't even be able to hold enough of those resources. So right now I'm okay leaving this at 10. So we're just going to keep doing the minimum things we need to get our main hall up as fast as possible. Another thing that you don't necessarily have to do is like the market. These ones right here, I would do a few of these just because they're quick and easy. Otherwise you could get to a point where you can just stop. You don't really need to. They give a decent amount of resources, but it's not a lot. When it comes to building your army, this is one thing that I'm going to suggest is you don't need to have some crazy army just to get to main hall 10. Honestly, you can go with just your first barracks or quarters, whatever you want to call it, of troops. You don't need to come through here and like, I don't need to unlock horsemen tier 3 and militia training grounds, which would be the spearmen. I don't need to do all this extra stuff and then go to cavalry and bowman range, and like, you don't need to do that if you're just trying to get to main hall 10. You can literally just focus on your first quarters right here. T2 is pretty good. You don't even need to get to T3. You could potentially get to main hall 10 with just T2 troops. Biggest thing that I would say is being able to carry a lot of troops. The more troops you can carry, the better, and that comes hand in hand with the command stat for your commander. The military academy is a huge must because this increases your commander's command stat, which lets us carry more troops out on our march. This is another must upgrade. You don't want to skip this because it's going to be really tough to get to main hall 10 if you don't have that leveled up high enough. Also, don't overlook upgrading your troops special ability with the gold right here. You'll notice T2 is fine. Don't waste it on the T1s early on though, but the T2s are a perfect fit. Now, probably the biggest thing and the most important thing is the tiles, how to capture them and understanding how the game mechanics works. Now, this is my 24-hour challenge account. I did a whole video where we did 24-hour challenge, this brand new account. We saw how far we could get in 24 hours, maximum account progress. Check that video out if you have not already, because I talked about a lot of good tips. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more Lord of the Rings videos, and I will see y'all very soon with another video. Stay happy, stay safe, peace.